You hid your vape underneath your pillows.
Yeah.
And you would come and smoke how often?
Oh, I couldn't go longer than like 10, 15 minutes without hitting it. It was so addicting. I brought it with me everywhere I went.
My name is Josephine Shapiro. I am a high school senior from Seattle, Washington, and I'm addicted to nicotine because of e-cigarettes.
The new nicotine, how modern nicotine is silently damaging teenagers' health. Do you know anyone who uses nicotine products? 10% of high school students admit to using nicotine products, but according to various experts, such as Dr. Bonnie Halpern-Felsher, the number is much likely significantly higher. Nicotine is an addictive chemical that is popular in teenagers due to peer pressure, advertisements, flavoring, and its accessibility. Nicotine may be associated with health risks like cancer and cardiovascular and respiratory diseases.
Today, 1 in 5 high school students are using e-cigarettes. Kids can have e-cigarettes delivered right to their door without requiring an adult signature.
I've seen people use it in classrooms when the teacher's not looking. Obviously, the bathroom has now become the Juul room and the vaping room.
Nicotine products like e-cigarettes limit an individual's pursuit of happiness and are too accessible, especially among teenagers because of marketing techniques like flavoring. Nicotine products are too appealing and accessible for underage people. The question is, why are nicotine products so appealing to teenagers?
Buzz, they like the buzz. We know from studies that it is also because a lot of young people are super stressed out and that you're more likely to use any drugs and self-medicate when you're feeling really stressed out, which is why I often say we need to help young people find better ways to help themselves cope than just relying on drugs.
According to the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 3 in 4 students, precisely 74% who use social media, had seen e-cigarette or nicotine product-related poster content. Availability of flavored vapes is among the top 10 reasons youth that admit to vaping report ever trying one in the first place. In 2024, nearly 9 out of 10 middle school and high school students who currently use e-cigarettes used a flavored product. One fact that flies under the radar often is how common the issue is because data showing youth nicotine rates is often misleading.
That the rates of use are somewhere in the 7 to 10% of adolescents. For nicotine e-cigarettes, now cannabis is higher, but marijuana, I think many of us don't believe those numbers when I've talked, and
What percentage of high school students would you say use nicotine products? Most likely over 50% of high school students use nicotine products. What types of nicotine products have you tried?
And they think one of the reasons might be because of unregulated marketing. So researchers, to take a closer look, studied data on more than 4,000 teens and young adults who had never used e-cigarettes before at the beginning of the study. And then 2.5 years later, they found that those teens who had been exposed to ads in retail stores were twice as likely to start using e-cigarettes.
What made you want to try nicotine in the first place? I was influenced by my friends.
Statistics from the National Institute on Drug Abuse show that teenagers mainly start vaping because of flavoring and because of nicotine. The Founding Fathers wrote that all people have a right to the pursuit of happiness in the Declaration of Independence. How can people be fulfilled of this right if they have to deal with the temptation of nicotine products because of its easy accessibility and appealing colors and flavors? It also limits families and friends of nicotine users who don't know the dangers of nicotine. These limits on people's rights of pursuit of happiness are why we need to greatly limit accessibility and appeal of nicotine and educate people on the dangers of modern nicotine products. With this knowledge in mind, we can now ask, what can we do to stop the spread of teenage nicotine use on a larger scale, but also in our everyday lives?
They have to be reinforced. We have our flavor bans in some states. So California, where I am, we have a ban on all tobacco flavors in California, not just e-cigarettes, cigarettes, cigars, and so on.
In fact,
some cigars.
Right now, the flavors are helping precipitate children's use of vaping products, and so I believe that we should ban those
use
flavors.
by providing appropriate education and counseling, and by making it difficult to purchase such products. I also believe that companies that manufacture and sell vaping products should do all they can to make sure that products are marketed only to adult smokers.
One of the big things that I always say is we should not blame or shame a young person who's using e-cigarettes or any drugs. We should not punish them. I don't believe in suspending for...
There are many policies that would do well in stopping youth nicotine use, such as putting a national ban on selling any flavors of nicotine product and enforcing tobacco 21 laws much more strictly. Before that, what we need to do is educate younger children, teenagers, and sellers about the dangers of youth nicotine use, especially for teenagers.